Hey guys, Pie Guy Rules here, and welcome back to Topic of Discussion. Today's topic, Cartoon Network. More specifically, Cartoon Network's Big Pick. Now, forgive me if I don't remember all of the specific details about this thing, but it is definitely worth talking about. What is it? Well, what was it? For 2 years, back in the early 2000s, Cartoon Network decided that they were going to have a bunch of pilots for random shows shown to us for, I don't know, a few weeks, and then have us vote online for which pilot we wanted to be made into a series. Novel idea, isn't it? You'd think more companies would try to do something like this. It basically was a popularity contest, and the most popular shows picked by the kids, by us, got made into shows. Why is that not like a standard thing? Tell me that Nickelodeon couldn't benefit from something like this. Just tell me that, because I guarantee you, if they tried something like this with, I don't know, any pilots that they tried to put out, like Adventure Time, I guarantee you they would have some pretty big successes. But okay, here's the deal. You want proof of why I'm saying this? Well, okay, so the first big pick, guess which cartoon won? Grim and Evil. Okay, what on earth is Grim and Evil? It spun off into a little show called The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, which lasted for years. Outlasted the cartoon branding, mind you. The next year's big pick wound up in a little show called Codename Kids Next Door getting greenlit, and guess how long that lasted? Years. Longer than the average cartoon. It was a massive success. Both of these shows were very innovative, very different, very interesting, and just great all-around shows. And the kids knew it, and they picked them. It was a great idea, and, any network could benefit from something like this. At the end of the day, we're the ones who have to sit through whatever they want to shovel at us. If we don't want to see it, then we wouldn't vote for it in the first place. And, yeah, it's not like a foolproof method, because sure, it's possible we could have picked something that ended up being bad. However, the kids didn't. They knew what they were talking about. And even though the pilots for Grim and Evil and Kids Next Door were very primitive to what the shows eventually evolved into, we saw something there and we picked it. We picked it, man. It all accumulated in a Big Pick weekend where they would show all of the cartoons that were nominated, and eventually leading up to the winners. The winner, but plural, because one year had one winner, next year had the next winner. And it was a great practice, and it was just one of the many, many things that cartoon branding did for us. I absolutely adore the cartoons, and Cartoon Fridays, that's a whole nother topic of discussion. But I'm just saying, so many good ideas came out from that time of Cartoon Network. That very early 2000s, late 90s, whole mishmash of Powerhouse era and cartoons. It was absolutely great. And I still think Cartoon Network could bring back the cartoon branding. I think that they could bring back something like The Big Pick. A few years back, they had something where kids got to vote on which episode of what show they wanted to be, premiering. Not premiering, but which show they wanted aired. And then, actually, recently, with the 20th anniversary, we got to go on and vote for which episodes of classic shows and more recent shows we want to have aired during the celebration. So that was cool. Cartoon Network has kind of stuck with the voting thing. Nickelodeon does it for Kids' Choice Awards, and which favorite episode of SpongeBob, they did that years ago. But I'm telling you, man, this was a good idea, and this is something, it's just, it makes sense, doesn't it? It's like, we're the ones who see it, so why not let us decide? And it was great, because they had a bunch of pilots, like, all different animation styles. It's all 2D animation, but, art styles. All different styles, all different ideas, and I specifically even remember one. Let's see, one was about two cavemen. I remember actually specifically liking that one. There's two cavemen, and they were kind of derpy, and they invented the wheel inadvertently or something like that. You guys probably remember what I'm talking about. I'm sure if I looked it up I could find the name, but, another thing that came out of it was Robot Jones. Apparently that was one of the contestants I think the first year, maybe the second year, I don't know. And that got greenlit into a show, even though we didn't vote on it. And while it did have its fan base, it definitely wasn't an A-lister in the cartoons. It only got like 2 seasons. But yeah, that's about all I have to say on the subject. Special thanks to the Fawful fan for giving me this topic. If you guys want to suggest a topic of discussion for me, post it in the comments below. Right now, I'm kind of stick to kind of classic Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon type stuff. But hey, if you guys want to see me talk about video games, old or new, if you guys want me to talk about television, old or new, just any sort of television. If you guys want me to talk about just anything, I will do it. But I want to make sure there's a fan following for it. I want to make sure I'm going to get good viewership for it. I want you guys to be pleased, the majority of you guys to be pleased. So if someone's like, hey, you should do a video on Super Mario Sunshine memories, and if that gets like 20 thumbs up, then I'll do it. Or if you just come up with one about classic Cartoon Network or Nickelodeon or something like that, then I'm like, that would make a good topic of discussion, I'm going to go ahead and do it. Alright, guys? So, again, as always, post in the comments your memories of today's topic of discussion, any new ideas you have for me, and, yeah, correct me when I'm wrong, because I don't do an insane amount of research on these things. I only have the vaguest memory of the big pick for some reason. But, I do still remember it, and, again, great idea, right? Right? Alright, Pie Guy Rules, out.